Hi, and welcome one and all to the city council meeting. It's Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. We already officially called this to order, so we'll move right to the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Paul Jerome, our new Assistant City Administrator. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's close enough.
Thank you, Chair. Will the audience please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. We're glad to have you here as part of the team, by the way. Next item on the agenda, we have it's our special recognition section, and we have a badge pinning this evening. I'd like to invite Chief, I imagine, somebody who's coming up to there he is. I'd like to invite Chief Valentine to come on up to the mic and guide this portion.
Fun fact, this year, the health insurance benefit, as I've been reminded a couple of times, I know she'll have insurance, a couple of times, includes hearing aids. It's awesome. Sorry, I couldn't hear you back there. Hey, it'll come to all of us sooner or later, you know. This is really exciting. We have in the audience a former chief from South Jordan City, who's the father of one of our new lieutenants, and former deputy chief from our city here in West Jordan, and that's really cool. We're going to begin tonight. I'll invite up Sergeant Steve Hutchings, Lieutenant Doug Saunders, Lieutenant Tyrell Shepard, some new officers, Officer Edgar Breton, and Officer Sam Frost. If you'll just come right up here on the side, I will give you instructions on how this works. And the people who are going to pin their badges, come on up and join us. Right up there. Now, on the uniform shirts, you should have seen there are two little, oh, look at that. A couple of them actually have the metal grommets. That's great. You are less likely to have your aortas punctured. But we do have Chief Maxfield, who's a paramedic here, so if we have a lot of blood, we'll be fine. So you may go ahead and pin the badges on your respective family members. Sergeant Hutchings is being pinned by his wife, Tina, Lieutenant Saunders by his daughter, Aislinn, Lieutenant Shepard by his wife, Samantha, and Officer Breton by his mother, Claudia Ronger, and Sam Frost by Ella, his wife. Ella did a very nice job, but you should have made him bleed just a little teeny bit. Okay, you know, this is kind of your last chance. We are incredibly proud of these new officers and also the officers who've been with us for some period of time, for the accomplishments that they've already made, and for those who have stepped up and agreed to take a leadership role in the police department here at West Jordan. They're all wonderful people. Give them a big hand. Thank you.
No,
Okay.
don't sit down.
Oh, yeah, the council's going to want
We're going to want a picture.
So just go up and form a half moon right up there in front.
Right up here in front,
dais.
and we'll come down and surround you.
Did you poke him? Yeah. Just a little?
Chief, you're welcome to be in this one as well.
Now, family members are welcome to come up and take pictures of the officers. This is kind of cool because not every city treats its officers this way.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, please.
I'm not sure which one of the five of you squeezed so hard that I'm going to feel it tomorrow, but might have been more than one. So thank you for that. I always love when we do these badge pinnings. Fortunately, it's most of the time, this is the only time I'll ever see you guys, hopefully. So, you know, I try to minimize my interactions with the police on a day-to-day basis, just as a matter of course. But thank you. We recognize the good and the value that you bring to our city. We're glad you're here. We have another special recognition on the agenda, but if you'd like, we'll give you guys a minute. If you don't want to stick around, we got some exciting stuff. We've got a public hearing later on about modified applications for a justice assistance grant, which by the way affects the police department. So if you want to stick around and hear that public hearing, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, you are free to go whenever you'd like. We'll go ahead and give you a minute if several want to go at once. Give you a minute. I'm sure there's a reception or some food somewhere that somebody will provide. Not me. Yeah. If nothing else, there's Dairy Queen next door. We're grateful for our police department. Our next item on the agenda is a special recognition award for Royce Mumford. This was to be led by Mayor Byrne, but in his absence, we'll go to Mr. Anderson from the council office.
Thank you. This special recognition was presented for the council to recognize Mr. Mumford. I don't believe he has family members here. I do see a couple. Oh, there they are. Okay. Oh, well, they're here. What was included in the packet was that back in 2017, he was traveling through the city when he noticed an unconscious driver in a commercial dump truck that was still in motion on 90th South. And he stopped his vehicle, entered the cab of the truck, and was able to safely stop the truck's motion and move it out of traffic, contacted emergency services. And today we're celebrating his remarkable act of valor and applauding him in his exceptional courage. And his wife and daughter are here to accept that award for him.
Wonderful. We didn't know that you were going to be here. So that's wonderful that you are here. We do have a certificate for you, and we'll go ahead and get a picture with you, I guess. We'll come back down. Come on up to right here. And you may want to hold off on getting this certificate for a second. The mayor's got to sign it and he's running late. He'll be here any minute now though. So don't go anywhere, but we'll still bring it up and hand it to you.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being here and again for that. I love it when we have good occasion to recognize a hero in the community who did something extraordinary. That's great. Our next item on the agenda is our public comment period, which must be why the rest of you are here. We have a public hearing later on. So if you are here to speak about the Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant that I referred to, that's a minute or two down the road. This is your opportunity to address the council on basically anything else that is council or city related. We welcome your comments. It doesn't have to be on the agenda tonight, but we do ask that you kind of keep it relevant to, West Jordan, city council stuff. If you do want to talk about the Dodgers, I will make an exception. But besides that, so we'll go ahead and open that up. We do have one who has signed up in advance to speak. And this is this is Janet Blackmer. I'm saying that right. And she is representing a group, so we're going to give her the 5 minutes. There. Yeah. Hang on one second. We'll get the timer switched over here.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to read this. Many homes back up to Grizzly Way by the high school. Linda's and mine are actually on the curve in the road across from the football field. For several years, cars have run off the road into our cinder block wall. Linda has sustained multiple incidents of damage, and others along our street have been hit as well. When this happens, we depend upon accident reports to help us file for insurance from the party who hit the wall. The first time Linda's wall was hit, she called the police and was shocked to find out the city wouldn't pay for the damage, but she was given an accident report. In the second accident, Linda actually had to pay to get the accident report. A police officer told her the third time that her wall was hit that the city would take care of it, but she told them, no, the city wouldn't. And the officer returned later with the insurance information. But what if there were no witnesses or someone had no insurance? What then? It's not fair that we should have to pay for negligence, especially as seniors with limited incomes. Originally, the builders of our homes told us that the wall belonged to the city. From someone in the city government, I recently learned that not long after our homes were built, the city deeded them over to the property owners without our knowledge or permission. We wonder if they did that to avoid having to pay upkeep or damages. So now we come to the problem. We've been asking the city to do something about security and safety with this wall. Traffic on Grizzly Way has increased dramatically, and we have had many problems with vehicles going too fast at all times of the day and in all weather conditions. And yes, we do have a large number of inexperienced drivers on that street, which could be part of the problem. We have offered several solutions to the problem, but have been repeatedly told that we can't do that. We wanted concrete posts put up in the park strip outside our fence. There's plenty of room to put those small rounded posts out there and still comply with ADA requirements. When this suggestion was turned down, we asked for arrow signs on top of the wall. We were given 3, inadequately placed, too close together, and in the wrong place. And one has now almost blown over. They're barely noticeable. Someone suggested another light out there. There is a street light very nearby, and we have lights at the school. It's light enough. We need barriers to prevent our wall from attack, and I use that word advisedly. If the cars are going to go out of control, let them hit the concrete barriers. They will be damaged anyway, so why take our wall with it? On one of these days, this car's going to come completely through and down into our yards because we are below. Killing us, killing our dogs, taking out our expensive trees. Where does this madness end? We pay our taxes and expect protection. We're not getting it. We are getting the runaround, and we're tired of it. Please, 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 somebody do something. I wish the mayor was here. Oh, he is. Hi, Mayor. I'm talking about the problem, and I am the problem, I know. We've done our part for long enough. Something needs to be done to prevent our wall from being damaged when people drive irresponsibly. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just looking at the Google Street View just because I wanted to see it. I have some thoughts. I'll share them with the mayor. Anybody else in the audience who would like to speak to the council? I see one familiar face that might want to say something. Come on up. We ask for your name, of course.
I'm Anne Marie Barrett, the manager of the Bingham Creek Library. And I'm glad to be back with you guys. I spent 3 months over filling in for the manager over at Sandy, so I've missed you all. And I'm just here to talk a little bit about fun things coming up at the Bingham Creek Library. And we are open again, have been for a little while now, actually. We've got beautiful brand new carpet, a gorgeous new information desk, and some additional shelving that's new to our location. So if you haven't been out recently, definitely please come see it. It's awesome. And we actually have probably one of our biggest events coming up of all year. It's summer reading. It's starting on June 1st. So we hope that you come out to our branch or the West Jordan branch or whatever branch is nearest to you. The whole Salt Lake County Library System starts at June 1st every year. This year's theme is Adventure Begins at Your Library, and we really do hope you join us on that wonderful reading adventure. We do have a few fun events coming up in the next couple weeks before then, just to tide you over while I know you're all anxiously waiting for summer reading to start. And summer reading is for all ages. So babies clear up to as long as you're breathing. Oh, thank you. Apologize, you guys. So we have a sensory play starting tomorrow morning for kids at 10:30. We also have a parachute play that will be next Thursday morning at 10:30. So the next week. So both days in May are Thursdays, 10:30 in the morning. Come, we have wonderful, fun things happening. And we also have our Library Explorer Detectives Mystery program coming up this Friday at 2:30. So this is for school-age kids. We hope you guys have come out and see us, because we're still missing people. I know there are people who maybe don't know we're open still. So we hope to see you soon. Thanks so much. We're really happy to be part of the West Jordan community.
Thank you. We're glad you're here. Anybody else in the gallery that would like to address the audience? Or address the council? Anybody from the audience who'd like to speak to the council or to each other? Come on up, give us your name, and we'll give you 3 minutes. Up to 3 minutes. Apparently, you don't have to take it all.
Hi, council members. My name is Gage Broadhead, and some of you know me from working with the Youth Council as an advisor. Tonight, I'm here to bring awareness to the potential problem that may be found in our youth. The problem is that your incoming generation are leaving the city in flocks. For many, there is no appeal to West Jordan if it is not somewhere that they can call home. There's nothing keeping them here besides visiting family that remains from time to time. Kayleen, I believe you should understand, being that I believe Erin was among the first that I had heard of from my class to leave state. I really hope it's because she found something better and not because she had to. For a moment, I'd like to go back to something that was said last month at our annual meeting for Youth Council. We ventured out to Dimpledale in Sandy to help collaborate with their youth council to clean up their trailway. And during that meeting, there was a lot of great conversation going on. I remember talking to you, Bob Ador, about wanting to find a culture for our city back home. And I've been asking around since that conversation, a lot of locals, a lot of friends, people that I know. I asked them, what is West Jordan's culture? And a lot of them can't tell me. And it's for a good reason, because we don't have one. They were especially not going to have one. We are especially not going to have one if we're unable to preserve a key ingredient to any culture, and it's our youth. You can feel however you want about a 23-year-old getting up and complaining about the economy. But if West Jordan is expanding, and these are the growing pains, we have to find a way to preserve this value in the meantime. Back in January, I was able to present a project I had been working on for the last 2 years to a select few involved in the youth council at the time. Since that positive meeting, I had been exploring ways to bring it to life. The project is called Local. It aims at countering all that I've just said. I realize this project won't put affordable homes down for our locals to furnish, but it may lessen the struggle they are enduring. Local is made up of 4 pillars, and it aims at boosting the following: local economy, volunteerism, community feeling, and civic engagement. I am set to really get going on this project starting June 1st, and I hope that the city will be accommodating in this pursuit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the room that would like to address the council? All right, I know. Any online?
There's several individuals online, none of whom have raised their hand.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and close the public comment period then and move to the next item on the agenda, which is reports to council. We'll start with city council reports. And would love to hear what you've been up to. Councilmember Whitelock was first, and we'll go Councilmember Green second.
Thank you, Chair. I simply want to thank the youth that are here for whatever reason. I know end of grading period, youth council, and just to learn about what your city does. City politics are really important. Your local elected officials have the most impact on your lives. So I just encourage you to learn at this meeting and then get involved. And when you turn 18, be sure and register to vote. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Green.
Just a couple of updates. First one was last week was the Association of Municipal Council meeting. Interesting agenda. It was discussing air quality. No surprise, no shocking surprise, but cars are still the number one polluter in Salt Lake Valley. But if you didn't know, one thing I learned is that Salt Lake City was one of the first cities in the country to institute air quality regulations and laws, and that was done in 1891. So we've had some pollution in this valley for a long time. So the interesting thing is where we have been from, where we are going, but we still need to, we need to try to do more. So if you get a chance, and one of the things that actually came up and something that I'd like to work with the mayor, the police, and the crossing guards is an education program about no idle when you're picking up your kids in those long kids lines at school. So maybe something that we want to look at least as an education program to help do our part to eliminate some air emissions here in West Jordan. The second thing is, and I don't know if any other council member will report on that, but were there four of us? At least four of us that happened to be, that were able to go over to a family here in West Jordan who was in it five. The interesting thing is that we went to a, I don't know what you call it, a ribbon cutting, grand reopening of an individual's home that had been rebuilt because he was a wounded police officer that had been injured in the line of duty. And unfortunately, his city did not do a very good job of taking care of him, at least the story that I heard. What was really interesting is that I was talking to the West Jordan resident. He said, I'm moving back to West Jordan. And it turns out that he graduated in 2002 from West Jordan High School. Well, it turns out he was on the same football team that my son was. And so it's kind of interesting that that's just a small, how the world circles that this person went from West Jordan to Texas and back to West Jordan, and hopefully West Jordan remains a good home for him.
Councilmember Bador.
Just to echo real briefly, I want to make sure people who heard what Councilmember Green was saying, it wasn't West Jordan that didn't take care of him. It was the place back in Texas, and the Wounded Blue project that we got to witness. Very amazing. The work that they do along with the Gary Sinise Foundation. Very nice. And it was wonderful to see that in a neighborhood in West Jordan, and to find out that a lot of the volunteer work that went into it were actually residents of West Jordan that then volunteered the time with that. Sometimes it's great to be on the council because you get to see the real good things of the city. Yeah, I will echo, and when you were talking about the conversation that was had up at Dimpledale, where we talked about West Jordan doesn't have the true identity that really brings it together. The identity that we've lived on, and it's a good identity, but it's that of the good neighbor. And we're a good neighbor city. I do think there's a lot more that we need to do, and a lot more identity work we need to do. And I look forward to working with you on some of that. But Man, I saw great stuff with the Good Neighbor this weekend. I got invited to a neighborhood cleanup that was put on. It was just locally produced and put together. Had probably the best breakfast I've ever had in my life. And then luckily had something else I had to do. So after the breakfast, I was able to leave before I had to do real work, which is a great thing. But what I want to point out, this started at Browns Meadow Park. Over 200 people were there, ready to work. And I have to give credit to Jennifer, and I think it's Andalyn, and the work she put together to organize all of this. The 200 people had work to do, had assignments, there was boards, there was, we as a council had agreed to waive the fee of dumpsters, but they had loaders around the dumpsters for people who couldn't lift things into the dumpsters or really just put it on, boom, throw it in. Such a well-oiled machine. And it made me think this is what I want to see more of in the city. I do remember, that when we did the fee waiver on this, it was kind of said, we don't want this to get out of hand. After seeing this, I wouldn't mind it getting out of hand. I wouldn't mind seeing more of this in our city because it was fabulous and the work went so well. I had to go to the next event. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. But by the time I was back, I said, all right, I'm back. What can I do? We've got it all done, which was, music to my ears. But I did try to go back and help. Real briefly, though, Jennifer Andalyn also showed me the amazing wealth of souvenirs and knowledge and memorabilia of stuff that she has from back during the Cold War when Russia, we played host to some Russians here right before the INF Treaty. Amazing stuff. And I'm going to bring this up as it's something that I think that we need to put on display here in West Jordan. It is a piece of our history that is really amazing and that a lot of people don't know of. So I would like to make sure that we start looking at that and find a place that we can do this. I know it many years ago was turned down by our West Jordan Historical Society. That I believe was a mistake. And we need to now show this and show something that West Jordan did because we were a big part of a very historic moment during the Cold War. Last thing I want to point out, when I left the work thing that was put together, it was to go to Draper to see the unveiling of their memorial for gold medal families. Very well done, very touching, very great to see the work that went into that and the stories went into that, and made me very excited to the fact that we've got our own coming up here. But that kind of thing, and I hope when we get it, I hope it's something that we pay attention to and realize sacrifices that go into keeping a country and a city that we can call a good neighbor city. Sacrifices were made to that from several. So I'm looking forward to that. And I hope that many of you listening and here will make sure that you're a part of that when we have it coming up here. But it was very good to see a lot of good neighbor stuff done this last week and a half here in West Jordan.
Thank you, Councilmember Vidor. Councilmember Green has another
What-
follow-up.
One last thing about the Wounded Blue Project home over there off of 32nd West. Scott? Sorry. We talked to the project manager at length afterwards, after the ceremony, and they could not have enough good to say about Doug and his group, the rest of, sorry, I don't know why it's so emotional, but they said that they had nothing but praise for your department and all the effort it took from your department to help get that house built. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else from the council? All right, seeing none, let's go next to council office report. This will be Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, council. The only thing I have to report is the new furniture in the council office has been installed. The staff will be getting their stuff back in their office and working here at City Hall. So if you should need anything. Also, your space should be set up by Friday, the council flex space that you're able to use to visit with constituents or interested individuals within the city. And you can set that up within Outlook with your own account. So we do have that ready for your use. That's all I have at this time. Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's go to the mayor's report. Mayor Burton.
Good afternoon. Apologize for my delay getting here. Thanks for letting me come. Okay, so my first part was what you, Councilmember Green and Bador already talked about, was the Jarman home remodel. And there's a little shot of that. Thank you for coming out and participating in that and letting people know that we are the home of the good neighbor. And in addition to the other cleanups that happened, there was a group of volunteers that came up and helped clean up the cemetery and did a great job there with their time and talents and made that place, keeping it respectful. Also, Saturday, the Rotary Club provided service for the Field of Dreams. The West Jordan Rotary Club was there. And there were a couple of people from our city and actually some of our employees who were there volunteering, helping serve hot dogs over there. If you've never seen the Field of Dreams ball game, it's spectacular to watch. It's full of all these children with physical handicaps that play baseball. They couldn't do it in any other fashion. And it's really impressive. ICSC conference was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And Paul and I were there. That picture on the top left, that's meeting with the pardon me, Woodbury Corporation. And that's 3 generations that are there of the Woodburys as we met with them. And as you can see, we also met with a few other people from Utah. But it was a very good experience, very beneficial. Paul made some appointments ahead of time with brokers who are working on requests from the council that you had given him over the years. And I want to tell you that those meetings he had were beneficial and the needle is moving. And as you know, when it comes to economic development, that's the best we can do is make sure we invite them. The door is open. They know that they're invited here. It was interesting because I stopped in another meeting where there were several people from our state there along with the EDC Utah. And they said that every city is asking for a Trader Joe's. And they're in demand. Anyway, it was a good, successful event. And I'm glad that Paul was able to be there and make things happen. Upcoming events, our food trucks are coming back. Yay! We're back at Rodwood Park. And to help kick that off, we'll have it'll be the Ron Wood Master Plan Public Open House at the same time as the food trucks. So look forward to seeing you there next Tuesday. Yes.
Quick question on the food truck. I know they always have it at Ron Wood. Has there ever been discussion of having a Eastern food truck? And I say that because I'm not going to drive clear out to Ron Wood because it's a long drive, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that would drive closer.
So the answer is on the First Friday concerts in summer months, they have food trucks there. So that is on the east side because that's at the Viridian. So first Friday of each month, food trucks at the Viridian.
Okay.
Good question. Okay, my mayor office open hours are coming up on May 6th at 4 to 6. And then our first Fridays I mentioned also includes that. And in the summer months, it's held outside. So it's in the amphitheater unless the weather turns bad, then they'll turn it around and flip it on the inside. So that works out very well over the Viridian. A couple of things I want you to be aware of. City offices are closing on Monday. However, we'll have our Memorial Day event. We hope you are able to come and join us for that. And the car show, and at 11:30 is when we will stop the car show to pay some respect to our veterans. And coming this fall, August and November, voting will now happen in City Hall. So people always came to City Hall and wanted to vote. the county is going to be making this a polling location. So we're going to try that out this year, and I think it will go well. We want to turn people away this time. So instead of the Meridian, it'll be over here. So you can let people know where to come vote. That is my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the mayor?
Quick question.
All right.
And I
Councilmember
didn't
Ball.
want to interrupt. What is the conference you went to? What does that stand for?
That's
I didn't hear that.
International Association Council of Shopping Centers,
ICSC.
Okay.
ICSC.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
And it's the largest group of shopping center retailers in the world that gather there once a year. And if half the things that people said yes to actually happen, it'll be really good for West Jordan.
All right. Sounds like you've got marching orders. Let's go to the city administrator's report. This is Mr. Lee from the executive staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 3 years ago, the city council authorized a program and put it in the budget for the Live in West Jordan program. This is a employee down payment assistance program. I just want to tell you that that program has been very successful. We've had 9 employees take advantage of this. These are 9 employees now that are committed to working in the city, living in the city, and when they sign this agreement, it binds them in their employment here for a longer period of time as well. These employees come from risk management, police, the water department, the fire department, public works, and our facilities division. So it's been very, very beneficial at reaching a broad spectrum of our employee base and getting more of our ambassadors that work for the city of West Jordan out in the community living here full time. So just wanted to let you know, give you a little bit of feedback on that. It's been a very, very good thing, and we have more employees looking at it, and they view it really as a benefit for working here at West Jordan. That's it from me. If there's any questions, if not, I'd like to turn it over to Brian to give you an update on a couple of road issues.
Any questions? All right.
Thanks, Council Chair and Council. Just a couple updates on 3000 South, the widening project. It's finally moving into bid. It'll be sent out to bid on the 25th of this month, so this week. Has to be out to bid for 3 days, 3 weeks and 3 days. That's UDOT's procedure. After that, there's a 60-day max time period to get the contract that the contractor put in place. So they have to get the contract signed and ready to go within 60 days. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. So that'll put us, after all the timeframes have expired, that'll put us around August, mid-August to start construction. And notice to proceed will be around August 17th if everything pans out. The goal with this year, we're getting a little later start, is to get the contractor mobilized and get the widening done before the end of the construction season. It might end up being just temporary asphalt put in and then come back in the spring and put in the permanent asphalt. But the goal is to get the road widened out before snow flies and all the lanes of traffic going. Along with that update on 7000 South, Greg's finished his sewer project out there. We followed right behind the sewer project to mill and overlay the roundabout. As of 3:30 today, that's been completed and opened up. That's opened all traffic. You'll see tabs there marking out the lanes. That's temporary until tomorrow night when the striper will be in to stripe the lanes. Thirdly, just a real quick update on Dominion on 1300 West. They've completed the bore. They're cleaning up. Today they should have been paving their open trench on the north side of 78. So that should be opening up hopefully by this end of this week, and have the travel lanes open. There'll still be some traffic control set up for some tie-ins they need to do, but for the most part, a lot of that will be gone. And then Greg will be starting his water line project here soon, and then Dominion will be following behind that group to finish from 78th to 70th, or Winchester roughly. And once they're done there, they'll be done in our city. So We're working with them possibly to be, to see if we can work through them, have them work through the winter, just to expedite things and move on. So that's the latest. Do you guys have any questions?
I just have one on the striping on 7800 South. Are they going to go from the roundabout all the way to Mountain View? Because that's
That was my question.
That wasn't, I mean, it was part of the project, but a lot of the existing striping because of
Yeah,
all the
so-
lane shifting has,
So the roundabout, the striping should line up. We're putting the striping in to line up with the widening. So it should go all the way through, I believe. I'll have to check on that.
okay.
Yeah,
um,
just check on that because there's also that sign that says the lane ends, but it doesn't end because that lane goes
Yeah.
for the turning lane. So people it goes like this and people get confused and you can't see the lines at all.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone from all the lane shifting that has happened over the last
Yep.
6 or 8 months.
Oh, let me check on that to verify
Okay,
that. Thank you.
perfect. Thank you. All right, and nothing else from the office?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, our next item is a special report to council. This is from the Youth Council, and we'll go to Mr. Hallmark and his guests.
Thank you, Chair. We're going to do things a little backwards because Keaton Perry, who is our chair, is a state champion in track and field, and he is trying to get to a banquet. So if we can have all the youth council members come up, we're going to take a picture with council really quick, and then we'll allow Keaton to escape, and then we'll give our report of an overview of what we've been able to do this year.
And can we know exactly what in track and field you're state champion in?
Throwing pointy things.
Not to mention he got hit by one in practice and was out for a little bit. And so it's a pretty cool story. Congrats, Keaton. But anyways, we have the youth council here, representation from West Jordan High School, Copper Hills High School, and Taylorsville High School.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Don't stand, don't, yeah, we're blocking you. Back house in your picture. You don't want me.
One, two, three.
With Keaton needing to depart, we are going to throw Taylor Patton under the spotlight. She is our vice chair of the youth council. And so she is going to run us through this brief slideshow presentation, highlighting the things that we were able to do in this compressed year. If you remember, the program launched in November. We started advertising in September, launched in November with our official ending of the program tonight. So Taylor, thank you for being thrust into duty. And she'll just take us
No,
Oh,
through
it's-
slide by slide here.
Warren, it's end of the first year, not the end of the program.
End of this year's program. Yes. Yeah, great.
Hi, I'm Taylor Patton. I was just thrown in this, so I have no idea what I'm doing right now. So starting off, we had 9 applications this year with 8 regular participants throughout the entire year. There were representation from West Jordan High School, Copper Hills High School, and Taylorsville High School. So in this presentation, I'm going to be providing a month-by-month snapshot of our activities this past year. Starting in November, we were sworn in as West Jordan Youth City Council on November 15th, 2023, during the city council meeting, which you can see. In December, we helped at the First Friday concert series on December 1st, handing out coloring books and helping with crowd control for Pictures with Santa. And then 2, toured the Public Works building with Brian Clegg, the Public Works Director. Then in January, we had Locals Officials Day at the State Capitol Building and Salt Palace. And a brief summary of what we did there is we got to explore the building, the Capitol, and then we participated in a practice, city council meeting kind of. It was really cool, and we got to learn a lot about how the government of our state and our city works. In February, we made Valentines as a group and delivered them to a local retirement home. And I was the one who delivered them to the retirement home, and they were very happy about it. They loved it, and the workers were very appreciative of us, and we were very grateful we got to provide that for them. And then the last slide is just looking forward to the year where we got, and this was an Easter egg hunt we were able to participate in a lot. And then I skipped a bunch. March, we had the Easter hunt. And then April, we were invited by the Sandy City Youth Council to assist in the annual cleanup of Dimple Dell Regional Park. And then the last slide is what we're looking forward to next year. Thank you.
What are you, question, what are you looking forward to this coming year?
I'm looking for more people to come to these activities and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun having a bunch of us go and learn about it. But I know a lot of my friends that I was able to talk to about said they wanted to join and wanted to be a part of it. So I'm excited for a bunch of new people to join and have fun with us next year.
Excellent. Any other questions? Councilmember Shelton.
What high school do you attend?
I go to Copper Hills High School.
And you're a junior now going to be a senior, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Great. Thank you for being on the council.
Of course. Thank you.
And feel free to email us, you guys. If there's anything you need, don't afraid to reach out. We want to be there for you.
Councilmember Green.
Yeah, thanks for letting me be part of the organ. I don't know about you, council member Bador, but I was unable to attend a couple of activities, but the ones that I was able to attend were excellent. Thank you. And thanks to the parents for letting your kids be involved in West Jordan City. I know that I probably emailed at least one parent several times. So thanks for letting your kids participate and encouraging them to be part of the city and doing good things in the city.
And just a side note, I was on youth council when I was in high school, by the way. So kudos.
Different city though, right?
Yeah.
And state. Excellent. Anything else for the youth council?
Just real quick, Chair, sorry. I also wanted to acknowledge Gage Broadhead. He already came up during public comment and shared his thoughts with you. He served as our volunteer advisor on the youth council this year. West Jordan resident, went to West Jordan High School, has a lot of passion for the youth, getting them involved. So you could feel that in his public comment. We look forward to his continued involvement in our upcoming program. So looking forward to next year, most of the individuals who are on this council will be returning next year, which we're excited for. The application window is open. It will be open throughout the summer as we begin to plan. Right now we have 4 applications for new individuals, so that brings our number to about 10. Hoping to get a little bit more, but for a new growing program, starting off with 9, 10 is great, and we'll hope to get higher towards that limit of 20. So thank you for your continued support of the program.
Thank you. While we're on the subject of high schools in West Jordan, by the way, as a parenthetical comment, I noticed on the news this week that the unsanctioned sport, but still kind of high school adjacent sport of girls tackle football, West Jordan High School took state. They beat Harriman in the finals to take state. So of unofficial, we'll see what we can do about a recognition there. It's an unofficial sport, so the school district doesn't do it, but it's a club sport but affiliated with our high school right here in West Jordan. So that's cool. All right, next item on the agenda is our public hearing. This is for resolution 24-020. Which allows the city council to authorize the mayor to sign the certification and assurances for the modified application and budget for the 2023 Edward Byrne Justice Assistant Grant. And I have Mr. Thacker from the police department online to. Oh, it's Deputy Chief Bell. I was going to say, the name on the sheet doesn't always match the name in the audience.
No, unfortunately.
Thank you for being here. Go ahead.
So the purpose of this, and some of you may recall, several months ago, we brought this grant before council to get it signed off on. one of the items that we were requesting in the grant, although our federal partners in the grant office approved it. Once we went to spend those funds, they informed us that that item is not something that they would support with this grant. So we filed additional paperwork to modify that and utilize that portion of the funds for another need that we have within the police department, which is moving radars to finish out the traffic unit and motor units that don't currently have that capability.
Thank you. Any questions for Deputy Chief Bell, Councilmember Shelton?
Thank you. So I understand the grant would not fund drones. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So are you working with the GIS department on transitioning some of their drones into your department?
We've been speaking with the CAO and other departments to identify the best and most efficient way to use the drone resources that the city has. In the case of the police and fire department, there are some needs that are unique to public safety. So, in some capacities, the capability that the GIS department has could assist us, and others it can't. So we're looking at ways to fill that gap.
And it turns out that their drones are not going to be allowed for them to use by state law, as I understand. And so they're going to have to replace those, but they're valuable and useful drones that perhaps the fire department and police department could use.
It's my understanding that we will look at that and see if we can retrofit them with some of the, if that comes to fruition, with some of the capabilities that.
They probably don't have some of the capabilities that you need as well, right?
Correct.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Any other questions before we open the public hearing? All right. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. This is your opportunity to speak to this specific item. Again, this is modifying our JAG grant application away from the drones and towards our motor squad. Anybody in the room who would like to address the council on this issue, now is your opportunity. Don't all rush up at once now. All right, seeing none in the room, is there any online with a hand raised in the Zoom?
Council, there are several people online, none of which have their hand raised.
Wonderful. All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing on this then and bring this back to council for discussion or motion. Councilmember Whitelock.
I just want to thank Deputy Chief Bell for answering my questions about this grant. Thank you.
Any further discussion, motions? This is resolution, by the way, 24-020. I'll move to approve resolution 24-020.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Jacob, seconded by Councilmember Whitelock. Any discussion to the motion? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. Mr. Anderson, I guess.
Thank you. Yeah, I neglected to mention that Ms. Quick is taking a much needed vacation. Councilmember Green.
Yes.
Councilmember Vice Chair Lamb.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Bador.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitelock.
Yes.
Chair Jacob.
Yes.
Councilmember Bloom.
Yes.
That motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is our consent items, which is just approving a couple of minutes from our previous two meetings. Need a motion to approve.
Move to approve consent items.
I second.
Yeah, we have a motion by Councilmember Whitelock, seconded by Councilmember Bloom. Any discussion to the motion? All in favor, please so indicate.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, rule the consent items pass. If you'll note on the agenda, we have several upcoming meetings, 3 per month as per usual. And we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting we'll call this meeting adjourned. We do have a committee of the whole meeting in the conference room where we will be discussing the budget. Oh, we have three. Oh, sorry. We'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting. That's why the closed session didn't fit after. That's because we had all these other ones. That's what it was. So we'll go ahead and adjourn the city council meeting. I'll go ahead and call that adjourned, and we'll call to order